Heyo, hello. Jesus, the music is loud. Oh, yo. Welcome in. Okay, I think I'm gonna try the multi-stream again. I hope it's gonna work better this time. How are you guys doing? Hello, Ari on Twitch. I've seen some couple people on YouTube as well. HDXD, the command block. Dama was there. Milan, AFK user. I hope the chat works correctly this time around. Oh my god. Because last time it was annoying when it just kind of fell off. difficulty. Yeah, this time we won't let the vote botters change it. Now I see a comment look says something in the chat, in the multi-chat as well. Let me switch my screen to this here. This is a lot of rolls today. 21 to be exact. Alright, so the multi-chat is there. You have English homework. Good luck with that. Hello, Killer Katze. My camera still needs to be there. There you go. It's there, finally. Okay, let's go. We have 21 rolls to go over today. We're gonna do things a little bit different because since I'm multi-streaming, I figured it's not like really easy to do a poll on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Because I will need to count that manually and people could like rig it in different places and you know, that type of stuff. So instead, this time around, we're gonna work through straw polls. I'm going to put links in the chat every single time in Twitch and YouTube. I see that. I feel like the chat is still not okay. I don't know if the chat is caught up. Can someone say something in the YouTube chat? Because I don't know if it actually catches up with the multi-chat. Anyways, we're gonna use straw polls, and then I put the link in the YouTube and Twitch chat, both. And you guys can click on it, and then you vote through a website. And you can also see the results there. And I will also display the results on screen. So it's going to be a bit different than the last times. Hopefully we'll be able to do it that way. I am going to move through the rolls a little bit quicker because, yeah, we have 21 rolls. I'm not sure if we're going to order them this time around in the tiers themselves. Because that's going to take a lot of time. Oh, YouTube chat disconnected again. Oh my god, this is going to be annoying. Hello Milan, welcome in. Yeah, okay, the YouTube chat is kind of weird with the multi-chat. Oh, that's going to be annoying for me. You can also see that on the screen. It says like this whole long message. Like you currently do not have an active stream, but I do have an active stream, so that's like BS. So I guess I will have to manually check the chats again. Okay, now it's apparently connected again. What if I click on this link? Does it connect me to the right stream? It does connect me to the right stream. Yo, bruh, for fee free. Now it's back again. So, okay. Anyone, call a roll in the chat that we're gonna start with. We have 21 options today, and yeah. I think this is going to be a weird tier list because, first of all, you can notice I've added an extra tier. Not anymore the not top 10 tier in the lowest, but we have a not top 20 tier, which is like only going to be one roll. But we have a D tier this time around. Oh, you gave me a random guy that gave me Nitro. Thank you for that. I don't know how long that is ago. What inspired you to be a YouTuber? Another YouTuber, I guess. Mega Jannemannetje. It's a Dutch YouTuber, Minecraft YouTuber. He was a Dutch Minecraft YouTuber because he doesn't make videos anymore. 4 years. Aha. So maybe you inspired me then, bro, to actually take Nitro permanently. I don't know if that's true, but I have been Nitro for like 3 years now in Discord, so... But anyone, if you have a role you want to see, you clicked on my channel for nostalgia. Aha. SB is one of the best roles for quick game. The amount of games I've saved as SB is in quick game is crazy. One of the times the medium was throwing and trying to spread misinformation to try to get the full folded. Oh yeah, I had to imagine like in but then you have a medium and you have a Soulbinder, so that's kind of rare because that usually doesn't happen anymore. Although in quick game, I don't know. Maybe it's normal in quick game to have Soulbinder and medium, but I don't know. Alright, we could start with the Soulbinder anyways. Oh, that's the wrong button. How do you guys rate the Soulbinder? in this tier list, I'm interested in seeing how. So this tier list is about how strong is the roll. It's normal in quick aim. Aha. What are those unusual roll images? Rabbit 1, sword. You mean on my screen right now? Or you mean like in-game? Because if it's in-game, it might be roll icons. A low A to a high B, probably. Yeah, I would love to see some more opinions, guys. Because, yeah, usually we get like 10 or 20 opinions thrown in the chat. And then we have a discussion. I am gonna make a poll already, though. I think we just need to get this thing rolling. Personally, I think the SB is, on this tier list, it's one of the strongest for sure, because, yeah, if you just look at the rolls, we have, okay, Time Surfer is there, with the whole medium tree, that's also pretty strong, but other than that, most rolls are not really that strong here, although we have kind of some toxic rolls here, like Fortune Teller and Passy. So, let me make a poll real quick then. Oh, this is not how I wanted to do that. I am using a website right now, so it may take a little bit longer than you guys can all vote. Oh! Oh, we got a Twitch spammer. Oh, report that guy, you're banned. Yeah, that's a bot. Why can I not, like, remove the message? Yeah, so these bot messages are gonna be a little bit on the screen right now. I don't know, I cannot really, for some reason I cannot erase the message here, which is really strange. Anyways, I hope that's not gonna be a problem. SB is self-proofable. Oh, YouTube disconnected again. Oh, this is gonna be annoying. Yeah, I will need to keep an eye on the YouTube chat separately, I think. It's so strange. Why does it keep disconnecting? Let me make this poll real quick. Duplicate. And then we're gonna make... I'm gonna put the poll for the Soulbinder here. Hello, welcome in Lazu and Unknown as well. Tech issues, yeah. You know, it's really annoying. I test this like off camera, this multi-chat stuff. It works, and then when I go live, as soon as there's like some chatters in the chat, YouTube just disconnects it, which is stupid. I know, I might have to look into a different multi-stream chat, because it doesn't work like this apparently. And holy moly, is there a lot of lag? No, there's not lag actually. But for some reason, it takes forever to make this poll. Tier for Soulbinder. Alright. S A D C. Not top 20. Okay, this is actually gonna make it, I think, a bit easier. Right, allow section of multiple options. No. Okay, create a poll. I'm gonna create the poll right now. Rainmaker can put his protection sword and protect 2 players. Yes, the Rainmaker. If you're a Rainmaker, you can give 2 people sticks, but we'll talk about Rainmaker later. Alright. Okay, there's the link. This is for the Soulbinder. And here, hello Mio Khan, welcome in. And Twitch here is the link to the straw poll as well. And now I will be seeing the results coming in. Let me link it real quick. Wait, there was a method. I'm trying to find the method again of like how this works. So I need to do this, then /embed after com, and then results at the end. I think if I do this, what if I do this? It doesn't show. Okay, that's weird. I'm trying to fix this. Did the Rainmaker have a rework? Not yet. We're talking about the Rainmaker later though. Let me try to fix this. How do I share the results again? Like there was some method. Where can I share the results? You voted S. Let me check. I can also check. I can also just say what the results are. There's only 4 votes so far. No, there's 5 votes now. Hello, Lavit, welcome in. I could, like, I could vote, yeah, if you want that, Daniela. I could vote, since this allows me to vote, at least. I'm trying to fix first, though, to show it on screen. Okay, this... Yeah, and then it comes with that. This is gonna be a bit of a drag. And now it shows the results properly. Okay, there you go. So these should be updated results. Let's go. Okay. Now this does work, I guess. So now we have 3 votes. It doesn't... Oh, it's not updated anymore. Wow, interesting. Okay, this doesn't seem to work that well, so let me make something different then. I've not thought about this really well, sorry guys. So yeah, sorry if this is gonna take a bit of time, the first one. I'm trying to figure this out real quick. Where is the window capture? Let's do this. Straw poll. Results. Let's do this. Okay. And then I'm going to make this a bit smaller, of course. Let's do this. And also on the right and left we'll remove some as well. This should work, right? This is fine. Okay, there you go. This is better. Let's go. So we have right now 8 votes. Majority for B. I'm surprised with that, honestly. B tier is pretty low, I would say, for the Soulbinder. Hello, Osu as well. Also, let me check the Twitch chat. Nothing has been happening in the Twitch chat, though. Welcome in R207 or 2007, Osu. Seasonals plus Forky plus Pressy, not top 20. They are contenders, I would say, for the not top 20. But come up, look, with 21 rolls, so there's only going to be 1 roll in the bottom tier. But I'm curious to see which roll it will end up being, though. They just screenshot it. The roll is not top 10. Wait, what do you mean? I've changed the tier list for this one, and maybe I'm gonna keep this format for the werewolves as well, by the way. But yeah, because there's a lot of werewolves. But we're going to tackle the werewolves. It's gonna be, I don't know, either 2 streams, and I will need to find a logical separation, or it's gonna be a very long one. A majority for B tier surprised me somewhat. But let's go. I think that makes... We can work with that, I think. Huh? So it does update. I guess it does update now. So sometimes. Anyone want to explain why SB is B? Yeah, personally, I think looking at this tier list, looking at all the roles, I think Soulbinder could be low S or high A tier. Because if you look at what is really stronger, you have the medium tree. Those are like the main contenders. But other than that, I don't know. Is there anything stronger than Soulbinder here? Like, yeah, Fortune Teller and Passy are toxic, but are they actually stronger than Soulbinder? I don't know. Yeah, same for Time Traveler. Could be like potentially stronger, but I would say usually not. Have you aware of Headless Horseman? What do you think about that arcade role? I've seen like people talk about it, but I've not played. Wait, that's weird actually. Now I think of it. Like I just played a sandbox game earlier today, and I didn't see any of those roles, which is, if they already removed that, that's pretty quick. I could vote, yeah. I might vote some now and then as well. Hello, the protagonist. Welcome in. Personally, I don't think... I'm not gonna vote for this one now. But yeah, let's put the SB in the B tier. It seems like that's where it's gonna belong. Now, which role do we pick up next? Let's start with like... they did. Headless Horseman can't be lynched if Werewolf is alive, but can be killed by... Oh yeah, that's like... Oh yeah, I've read that, yeah. I think that's an interesting role design choice. And it also reminds me of Bomber somewhat. Soulbinder is insanely strong when used well. You can self-proof in any way. You can get info from that during the day or nighttime. And you can still provide info even after dying. Exactly. Putting it even under A tier is criminal. Yeah, I think it is as well, but yeah. Maybe later on people will change minds. Alright. Let's go to the role that people call the weakest in the game. Although on this tier list I don't think it's gonna be the weakest, honestly. The Flower Child. Let's go. Flower Child. Let's see some Flower Child love today. Or no, I don't know. You guys decide. But yeah. Let's pick the Flower Child. I'm gonna start making a poll ready. What do you guys think of the Flower Child? In this tier list? I mean, if you compare this with President, Forkman, Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, Pumpkinkin, I think that's the roles that you can compare it with. Then this role is like strong, because it has an ability. Worst role ever, you think so? You love FC. Forky is better than FC, you really think so? The FC is like, well... There's one rule gonna be here, but I don't think it should be the FC, honestly. Like, even President is weaker. Wait, even Unknown, who's like quite reasonable, usually says it should be the not top 20 tier. Like, let's be real, it has an ability, and Forkman doesn't, and President... Like, President is even like negative to the village, because it makes it easier for the werewolves to win. Although there's one pro for the President, and that is like self-confirmable, but yeah. Usually C is pretty weak though. I don't know why they actually introduced this as well. Like, yeah, counterpart to the Guardian Werewolf. But if we're gonna do that, like... then, I don't know, make it at least like a counterpart to the Jelly Wolf, maybe? Like, okay, Jelly Wolf is way newer, but still. Actually, that's... if you think of it, if this would become a counterpart to the Jelly Wolf, this role would suddenly be very strong, because it could protect against anything. One time, sure, but if a villager is getting shot, you could protect if it was a counterpart to the Jelly Wolf. But that would also protect against solos and werewolves at night. So then it would become more of a night protector, I think. These are the villages that we didn't have in other polls. Yes, indeed. Okay, I'm gonna finish the poll and then I'm gonna publish it for you guys. You can give your opinions. B, C, D. Not. There you go. Create a poll. You're gonna make a lot of polls today. Okay, here in the Twitch chat, here is your poll, and here in the YouTube chat, here is your poll as well. This is for the Flower Child. I'm gonna vote in this as well. I will just vote right now. It's validating. As werewolf, activate shadow and kill the FC, not the info. Yeah, I don't know if I would kill the FC. If you do that, I mean, surely you're gonna get the kill, because there's no way the FC protects itself in that case. But you're just also lynching your scapegoat, basically. So yeah. Wow, I'm surprised by this vote so far. There you go. This is probably the better one for me to show it like that. Okay, so funnily, I am the one who was the C voter here. I voted C tier for the Flower Child, genuinely, because I think it has an ability, even though it's like not usually that useful. It still has a niche purpose. I would say it's better than, it's at least better than Villager, Precedent. Well, Precedent can be twisted, but definitely better than Villager, because it's self-provable more than the Villager. It's better than Easter Bunny, Pumpkin King, and that's at least those three roles are weaker. Santa Claus and President arguably, because they are they have like no actual ability that has like any potential use, but at least they're confirmable, self-provable. But there's like no other role that is like weaker, at least those. So it cannot get like higher than C tier, but I think not top 20 is rough, considering that like you basically say this is weaker than Pumpkin King, weaker than Easter Bunny, weaker than Precedent, and weaker than Villager. Botting? You think there's botting going on here? I don't know. You cannot bot, if I'm correctly, because it blocks VPN, and it also doesn't allow for more than one vote on an IP. Rainmaker is definitely not top 20. I don't know if you guys know exactly what not top 20 means here. Not top 20 doesn't mean like not top 20 in the whole game from the village. Like, yeah, if we were to add like Gunner and stuff, then this all belongs not top 20. But not top 20 means like just this tier list. So there's exactly 21 roles on this screen right here. And if you vote not top 20, it means it's the weakest of these roles. So I don't know if the Flower Child actually belongs there. I've not seen a really compelling argument so far, apart from like being somewhat of a scapegoat. You don't think the president is the type of role to put in tier list? It's more of like a special game mode role. Well, I think I've put the president here because it belongs to the village. The only role that I'm not gonna put in any tier list at all is the assassin, if I'm correct. I also put like time traveler here. I was thinking about putting Grave Robber, Cursed, and Cupid here, but I thought like I'd make a third-party tier list at some point, which is probably gonna be the hardest to rank anyways. But yeah, that's gonna be with the voting roles and the Cupid and Cursed related ones. Oh, and the chat disconnected again. Yuppie. That's why I didn't see some of the messages here. Rainmaker is just better FC and more provable. Rainmaker is stronger than FC, I would say so, yeah. Hello, Stepacam, welcome in. Wow, okay, not top 20 gets the dub, I guess. Whoever says Rainmaker is a certain tier, which is extremely wrong, gets banned. I don't know what tier that's gonna be, but yeah. In what year were I born? 1999. Rainmaker is just FC, but more choices of being useless. Oh my god. Yeah, but if I look at this poll, I have to put the FC in the bottom. Honestly, like that's how it looks like. I would say D tier would make sense, perhaps, but yeah. For now, we'll do this here. Let's move on though to. But where's the time traveler killer also? Where? Yeah, I don't know. It should become a thing. Alright, even Santa's better. You can sell. Santa is like self-proofable. Yeah, for Santa and President, you can make arguments that they stronger than the Flower Child. But Flower Child is also self-proofable if it's not in a Guardian Beowulf game, and that's usually the case. So it just wastes it wastes a voting phase. But usually you want to prove when there is a voting phase that otherwise just goes to nothing. But yeah, let's go to. Okay, let's get this roll out of the way real quick. The Villager, because I know you guys are gonna meme it and put it in S tier. I don't know if this is actually, if I would say this is like the weakest role in the game. Because it has like actually no abilities, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know the Pumpkin King and the Easter Bunny well enough, but I think the Villager is like either Villager or President is the weakest Villager in the game. Considering with the Villager you have the problem of, well, it has nothing to prove. With the President you're just like negative kinda to your win condition. No ability is obviously worse, yeah, I know. Alright. Let me make a poll here. I think it looks like the chat is back again. Yay, the multi-chat. It's so on and off, which is annoying me, but yeah. I'm gonna vote this role as well. Wait, let me send the link for the Villager. My Twitch chat is gonna be filled with just the Twitch chat is basically only the links that I sent because there's no one. But here's the YouTube link. No, actually I voted wrong. Maybe I should have. Okay, let me check if this is still like gonna update. Let's see, where are you guys gonna vote? No, I didn't vote S. I actually don't know what I voted here. I voted not till 20, but I wanted to change it to D tier actually, but yeah, that didn't come through apparently. So yeah. Wait, I can actually go back to the poll and just change it. I'm gonna vote D tier because oh, I cannot change the vote. Okay, too bad. There you go. Hey, someone's put it in C tier. That's interesting. Who voted C? Like, there's like, that's the weirdest tier to vote this for. Like, it's either S or not till 20 or D. No, just kidding. I don't have a girlfriend, no. So I also don't have plans to get married. That's definitely not something that's on my agenda. 1 vote per IP address allowed. Yep. Welcome back, Stepocam. How can I access the voting form, please? Just click on the link and then vote whatever you think is the correct tier for it, and then submit your vote, and then should register. I don't know if I don't know. Is there like, I don't know if straw polls are like banned somewhere. If that's the case, then I would have to find. I need to find something different in the future. But yeah. Notice how the votes are more realistic now. No more bothers. Yeah. That's because this system, that is actually like not even the. That's not even the main goal I had with changing this poll, but this way of polling. But it is like a nice benefit that comes with it. But it's also a fact that we probably have like less participation because it's easier to just vote on YouTube. I don't know if you read that before you moved on to 4K, but even if you want to force FC to prove, Full can exploit it as well. Yep, that's true. It does look like we're gonna put the 4K in the not top 20 tier. That means that we're gonna have to move something out in the future as well. Because there's only gonna be one rollout in the bottom. I don't think it belongs here either. I think it should have been D tier, and I try to vote for it as well. But yeah, I accidentally did it too late. Alright. Your favorite rolls out of this Conjurer and Pacifist. Pacifist. Okay. And Baker. Where can we vote? Skylo, it's in a straw poll in the chat. Actually, I should pin that message. Oh, that's like a good thing I realize now. I should pin the message whenever that poll is running. Okay, let's move on to one of the seasonal roles, Santa Claus. Santa, I'm interested, guys. What do you think of Santa Claus? Santa Claus. When it's Christmas, it has to be S tier, right? Okay, there you go. Create a poll. Santa D tier. Yeah, I think Santa makes sense in the D tier as well. But because it's self-provable, but it has no ability. Can ho-ho. Ho-ho-ho. Pure ultimate fun night greeting. Yeah, maybe. Pumpkin and Easter Bunny have no... If I'm correct, I think Easter Bunny is like self-provable, but only when there's a medium in the game. Because it passes around the bucket to the dead players, and... Or is that the Pumpkin King? That might be the Pumpkin King, actually. I kind of forgot. One of those roles I don't know really well, and the other one passes a bucket, and then I think that must be the pumpkin king. That makes more sense. And then you get like, you pass a bucket, and players in the dead chat can get that, and I guess they can say like, hey, I got the bucket, blah, the person who said this in the day chat is correct, so yeah, they must be Pumpkin King or something. But I don't know if that works exactly like that. I've not really played these two roles enough. Santa Claus I have a lot more experience with, but yeah. I'm gonna also vote actually. Wait, I did not share the link yet. I'm dumb. I'm gonna share the link first. Okay, Twitch chat. Here's for Santa Claus and YouTube. Okay, let me pin this message. So if you want to vote here, the pinned message here, that's the poll for the Santa Claus. All right, let me vote something as well. I'm looking at the all the roles that we have here, trying to judge if this should be D or C because self-provability. Kind of hard, honestly, but I think it's gonna have to be here. All right, now I will show the results as well. Someone actually voted S tier, no way. Someone voted S tier, yes. Skylo, in case you're curious or you didn't vote yet, or yeah, if you're here, the poll that I just posted in the chat, the link is where you vote now. Yeah, I see the combined chat is broken, yep. It's really stupid, I don't know, for some reason it works pretty bad. Yesterday it was like, I tried to prepare this a bit, and then I was like, okay, it looks like it works again. Okay, now it seems to be back. But it doesn't stay online consistently, that's the annoying part here. Hello, Miko. Welcome in on Twitch. Miko, if you want to vote as well, the link, the last link I just sent is the link to the Santa Claus poll, and you can put a vote on how strong you think it is. If you put in S tier, it's like very strong roll. If you put it in the D tier or in the top 20 tier, then it means it's a weak roll on this list specifically. You know what? If you Conjurer and take Pumpkin King, you can start the Pumpkin passing if the original didn't start. That's I didn't know about that, but yeah, that's such a niche interaction, honestly, that you will never really get to use that. Will you ever try to play Minecraft or create a Volso minigame in Minecraft? I thought about it actually, a Volso minigame in Minecraft in the past, but I do play Minecraft, but not that often. And it's not something I will, at least not stream here. Maybe I could, like, I've done Minecraft videos in the past, but yeah. Also Minecraft, hell yeah, that would be cool. Let's see, what, we have a couple more votes this time, and D tier seems to be the common answer. So let's put the Santa Claus in the D tier. This is our first D tier roll, but we are already sure that Villager or Flower Child is gonna move up. Santa, okay. Next roll. By the way, why is SB in B tier? Yeah, beginning of the stream, I don't know why it happened either, but it did happen, and I don't know if I don't agree with it, but yeah. It's probably gonna change at some point. We're gonna look at some rules that are like heavily contested in the future. If I have enough time, we'll rank the tiers as well. Otherwise, we'll only do like the most interesting tiers in terms of like spot ranking. we'll definitely rank the S tier, like within the S tier, but yeah. Okay, let's go to one potential S tier role right now, Ritualist. Okay, Ritualist is obviously, if you look at all these roles, this is definitely one of the strongest roles here, for sure. Like, arguably in the game as a whole, because the medium tree RSV, you know, that's thing, but the whole medium tree is like arguably one of the strongest trees, if not the strongest tree in the game. And I don't know which within the medium tree, I don't know which is like the strongest role per se, because I think Conjurer has the most potential, but that's only when the player is so good that it makes use of the abilities in such a way that losing one player is actually compensated for, because Ritualist and Medium can actually bring back a player, which the Conjurer cannot do. But yeah, Ritualist is a bit more rigid, but at least it works if you die, so it's also like, if you die at one, it doesn't have to be a problem. Only Ritualist weakness is if an important role dies one. Yeah. Okay, let me make a poll for the Ritualist. You already voted. If it weren't a provable role, maybe I'd voted C. Wait, Miku, it's about strength, by the way. So, if you... The stronger the role is, the higher it is on the tier. So, the fact that it's self-proof actually should only like help its chances to get a higher tier for Santa Claus, that is. Alright, let's go to the poll for the Ritualist. Oh, this is dumb. Okay. I don't know why it like copied the wrong thing. Oh, I know why it does that. Let me do this like that. Okay, we'll unpin this message right here. I will share this link with you guys in chat. This one is for the Ritualist. And now in Twitch as well. Still D. Yeah, it's Santa Claus D tier. I think so. That would be deserved, yes. Here is the poll for you, Miku, and whoever else is on Twitch. There you can vote for the Ritualist, what tier this belongs to. I am also gonna vote, and yeah, this is pretty easy for me. Like, I don't know which is like among the medium tree is like exactly the strongest. I personally would go for medium probably, but there's like arguments for every role there, so it's kinda like, yeah, that's gonna be like the most interesting debate here. Wow, I see an interesting vote here. Okay, let me show the results to you. Someone voted B, which is surprising me. Conjurer can hypercarry, yep. Ritualist, medium Conjurer. Ritualist is S tier, yeah, it's definitely looking like it's gonna be S tier. Oh, someone put it in A tier. I don't know, whoever put it in B tier is insane. Because, yeah, I don't know what role are you gonna put in S tier if you put the Ritualist in the B tier. Why is Ferryman not here? I considered Ferryman, but the Ferryman is, we actually put the Ferryman in the Protector tier list already. But I could have put it here as well. Yeah, Ferryman is in the Protector tier list, that's why it's not here. I was thinking about it, because, You know, in that regard, I could have, like, if I put the ferryman here, I could have also picked... Yeah, I don't know, that might have been a stretch. But yeah, if you look at, like, Bellringer, Loudmouth, and Fortune Teller all being here, then I could have also picked, like, Avenger here. But yeah, that is, like, really a killing role. And I consider the ferryman a protector. But yeah, some rules are, like, super... well, controversial is not maybe the right word, but some rules could be twisted over where you can put it, because, like, in an alternative universe, I can also see, like, Pacifist, Bellringer, Loudmouth, Fortune Teller maybe as well. Well, Fortune Teller would be really a stretch, but the other three, and even Vigilante, could all be Informers as well, you know? So... Ritualist is kind of weak in my opinion. It's quite annoying when info dies night 1 or day 1 or a random RV gets revealed. Revived day 1. It can be annoying, yes. It's mostly a high risk, high reward rule, yeah. So when it doesn't happen night 1, Ritualist becomes OP. Okay, it seems like it's pretty easy where we're gonna put this rule. So let's put it in the S tier. Where it's gonna sit in the X tier in the end is, like, to be seen, obviously, but yeah. Okay, let's go to one of the most... let's discuss a role that we don't know that much about, maybe. And talk about something that's gonna release soon. The Prayer. I wonder where you guys want to put the Prayer. If I need to explain the Prayer, I'd imagine, like, some people don't know what the Prayer does. I will explain what the Prayer does if needed. Is the Prayer role in Sandbox? Not yet, but I suspect it's gonna be, like, there soon-ish, because they did release it, kinda. At least in custom games, it's already available for me, and for Moonlight members. Prayer is tough, not tested enough. C or B tier, unreliable. Prayer is kinda hard to use because you need to predict who dies. Basically, you need to predict who dies, and based on, and if you predict it correctly. If the player has a good aura, you get a protection ability, only 1 use. If the player has an unknown aura, you get a reveal ability, 1 use. And if it has an evil aura, you get a kill ability, 1 use. So it's like, and the kill ability is like Forger's Sword, if I'm correct. So instant kill. I think it, I would say this is kind of this is like the middle type of, this should be in the pack probably somewhere. How do you play as Prayer? Yeah, that's what it does. Hello, where's Skylo? Welcome in on Twitch. The Prayer pool, I'm gonna make the Prayer pool, yeah. Here's the Prayer pool. And here on YouTube. And I'm gonna... There you go. The new pinned message is the new poll. Let's see where the Prayer goes. Look, I don't know if it's like B or C. That's kind of hard to judge right now. But since the Prayer, I would say, since the Prayer can work really well with some roles that have night killing abilities. And if an evil is announced and then gets killed, you can basically get a free bullet. So yeah, I don't really like that mechanic. It is role list dependent, yes. Wow! Wow, okay, the results are like, okay, very split so far. We need some votes because currently we don't have like a one common answer, but definitely not like one of the extremes, so that's good. Evils will usually not die at night, but as soon as you have a marksman, witch, jailer type of role, you have a basic free bullet, so then it becomes very OP. And that's also really, that's the one interesting part about... Now, that's actually not interesting about the prayer, because announced skills are just easy to predict. It goes with all the prediction rolls. Like, some prediction rolls do it well, because they are only useful if they watch like an evil killing specifically. Like if we talk of sheriff, we have that's a nice one, because you could like watch a werewolf die. You could, if you're a sheriff, you could like say like Jader says like, okay, I'm gonna execute 12 alpha werewolf. You could like, okay, I'm gonna watch 12 because that's easy info, but then you get like the jailer as info, which is not that useful. And so the sheriff is only really useful if it takes risk with checking, whilst like preacher and also prayer now can get very cheap kind of predictions sometimes. But if those type of roles are not in the game, then it's really hard to get a bullet, and then it's like, are you going to risk predicting like unconfirmed players who might be evil killing and on getting killed by solos? I don't know, it's kind of risky. You can also just go safe and protect good, but then you only get a protection, so it really comes around where how you look at what the role list is. But I wish they changed it so that unconfirmed, or that village kills don't count towards it, because then it's like a really well designed role. You don't want it near SB. I don't want it near SB either, but I think you haven't played it, yeah. I still think that SB is like in the wrong tier, honestly. If you don't think you're qualified for the vote, Miko, by the way, then you can also not vote if you want that. I think we'll just end the poll right here, because it's we have one winning tier right now, and I'm only scared like that's gonna change. It's now in the B tier, but yeah, of course, keep in mind it might change. Especially Soulbinder might change, in my opinion, but yeah, that's my opinion. And I'm not the one who is like the most influential for the... I don't want to be the one who decides the most for this tier list. Alright, let's go to... We still need to rate the other roles as well, yep. Alright, what's a fun role? Okay, let's take Time Traveler. Time Traveler is next, and this role... Well, I kind of forgot how it works exactly, but basically you just use your ability, I think at nighttime, and then... Or when do you activate this Time Traveler? Someone can explain, because I've not played that much with Time Traveler. Basically you just rewind the time, which is... Sometimes it's like executed pretty badly, then it doesn't really bring you much. But usually it has like OP potential, because you can like, if Gunner shots a villager, well, rewind the time, Gunner's gonna shoot the right player next time. You know, that's just gonna be like, that's so OP. So Time Traveler has like potential to be S, but I don't know if it's like realistic to put it in S tier, honestly. So yeah, you can activate your ability after night too. Yep. You can only activate it one onto the night, but also so slow. Yep. Let's make a poll. Oh, I can also make it like this. It's actually really easy now. Time Traveler. Time Traveler's weakness is that you cannot undo converts. Yeah, so basically the stuff like conversions, well, usually sec leader and stuff, get extra time. But yeah, how often do you like specifically get like converts in a Time Traveler setup? I don't think there's like converting roles to begin with in the Time Traveler game mode, but maybe I'm wrong. Here's the poll for the Time Traveler. And here on Twitch, Time Traveler. You forgot about the weakness of usually dying before doing anything, or not having scenarios where the ability would help. Yeah, like that's the weakness of the Time Traveler, really. It's one of those roles, but it's not like as extreme as Arsonist, as I said in earlier streams, but it's one of those roles where you have to also account for realism. So I would go this one here. Okay, interesting. Let's go. There you go. We have the poll here. If you use a Time Traveler as Conjurer, you can kind of loop. I don't know. Can you? I've not tested that, honestly. The sound that would be broken. You all think it's worse than Prey? I don't know. What I can say what I thought. I thought a B. Hello, Duper. Welcome in on Twitch. We're doing a tier list today. I think that the Time Traveler rule is not worthy of A tier for sure. C is probably also bad. C is definitely too low. But yeah, not gonna say much. We need a deciding vote though. We need someone to vote B or C. Where are the votes? Okay. How are you doing, Duper? Well, we're definitely putting SB up soon. I think so too, yeah, I know. I was already surprised by it being like only in B tier. I voted TT, yeah, I voted for the B tier. I'm one of those two on the purple one. If we don't get like an extra vote, I will just revoke my vote in that case, but yeah. What does Time Traveler do? Basically, you use your ability and time reverts. Everyone gets their ability back, but you technically still know who is who and stuff. So basically, the only thing that doesn't revert is like conversions, because otherwise, yeah, players would just know the sec leader and be villager again, and yeah, that. It has potential to be very strong, but it doesn't always get its use, basically. Can I change my A vote to B tier since I'm technically voting both? I guess so. Oh my god, we got a complete tie now. Well, I would say if we have like a complete tie, we're gonna do it in the middle, like we've always done. I heard that it does not undo for Informer. What do you mean with that? So if you check someone night 3, if time travel back to night 3, you cannot check it. Oh! Okay, that makes sense actually. That makes it a bit weaker at least. TT is too situational. I don't know, man. I think it's kind of strong, honestly, but it's not like, yeah. I think it's really hard to judge this role, honestly. He can definitely self-proof. That's also something you have to account for. Yep. That's a reason why we put some roles in the D tier, for example, instead of like really being in contention for the not top 20, like Santa Claus. But yeah, the poll does not give me any result really, so I'm going to put it in the B tier in that case. Because that's the middle of the three. Let's go for finally one of the... We still have like not touched some of the roll trees here. Let's go for the Preacher. Let's go, Preacher. Alright. Another predicting roll. We still have like, I think one more predicting roll. Yeah, the Bell Ringer. Preacher's kinda hard on this list as well. Yeah. Has a lot of potential, obviously. But that's kinda hard to reach. Like, how often do you see Preachers with like 4 votes? Like +3 and then the base vote. I'm gonna make a poll real quick for this one as well. B tier 2, better than Prayer in my opinion, can demolish in certain scenarios. Sected or coupled. Yeah, sometimes it can go very clutch, absolutely. It's self-proofable, but amongst the Mayor tree, it's the least self-proofable, so that does... it doesn't really matter for this tier in particular, it's just for the Mayor tier interesting. Like, in potential, this could be like the strongest Mayor tier role, because, yeah, having 4 votes is insane, but you don't really get 4 votes, so like that never happens. And we also need to count for realism to some degree, so Incy Preacher is scared, to be honest. Incy direct kills in private chats. But Incy doesn't kill if you are alive as instigated Preacher, right? Like, I can imagine if you have like a Preacher with a solo, if you're like instigated with a solo killer, then the instigator could tell, yeah, the solo killer go this person, and then Preacher predicts them. That is OP. That is really scary, but like that's so niche again. Okay, here's the straw poll for the Preacher, by the way. And in the Twitch chat, here's your straw poll as well. Same one, actually, but yeah. You can't put Preacher in A tier since it has same issues as Prayer. You could be used this entire game. Some rules lists don't have predictable night kill rules. Yeah, oh yeah, stuff like Alchemist, Ilu, and Corruptor, I guess, yeah. There's a lot of solos that kill at daytime nowadays, to be fair. But yeah, you also have Siren, that's when the Preacher is really strong, because it's kind of easy to predict Siren kills. I'm probably gonna vote this one here. I can't put Preacher. Oh, I already read that one thing. Your guesses also count for village kills, so if village wants to kill this guy, Preacher can guess them as well. Yep. So that's another thing that I also said with Prayer. I don't like that from a role balance POV. However, with Preacher, I'm more willing to forgive that, because having 1 vote, although it could be strong, it's not like getting a free bullet, which that's like that's like another tier of strength, basically. So I don't think it's that bad. Alright, let me go to the results. Okay. We need more votes, guys. We need more votes. Alright. We have 3 votes right now. It's pretty rare, but I once had over 3 guesses, and having 4 votes gave me vote power against Cupid and the couple, and it made me win. Good win couple or against, yeah, for like those type scenarios. That's extremely strong though. That must have been super nice to have like that much power. Okay, I think if we don't get a vote, looking at this poll, I think it would be if we don't get like extra votes anymore. Okay, now we do. Like, I think it makes sense to just then see where the other vote went to. Like, if we have like 2 votes for B, 2 votes for C, and 1 for A, I will just add the A to the B in that case, if we don't get extra votes. Hello, Alex, welcome in. Oh, and Ruby, C tier for you. I have, personally I voted C tier here, but yeah, you guys convinced me to vote C tier. But Wolfluencer, yeah, Wolfluencer is a risk for the preacher, I mean, but that's a niche as well. Let's put this in the C tier, and then we'll go to the next role. Yeah, or just don't reveal in that case as well. Okay, let's go and take a look at... Let's do Pumpkin King. Maybe someone can confirm what this does exactly, but yeah. I kind of don't know. Either the Easter Bunny or the Pumpkin King, I forgot. I don't think this is gonna be too much of an argument where this goes to, but yeah. For the people who are just coming in, don't forget this. That this the not to 20 roll is basically is only for the weakest roll in this tier list, because there's exactly 21 rolls. So 21st weakest, 21st is like in the bottom tier, and if you think this is very weak but not the weakest, it's probably gonna be D tier. PK passes the bucket to dead players. All event rolls are D tier in my opinion, but the others are under Santa since he has self-proofing. Yep. I'm gonna make a poll because this one, I think we can do this one pretty quickly. Like, I don't know if it... Because the bucket thing is the thing I remember. In that case, I don't know what the Easter Bunny did. That's the one I forgot. Okay, here is the link, guys, to... the straw poll for the Pumpkin King. And in the Twitch as well. Let's go. Pumpkin King. Pretty sure that the Easter Bunny is Santa, but the Ho-Ho is automatic. Does it even have that? I don't know. I'm gonna vote myself, but yeah, I think this is a... I would be surprised if I see something different than a D tier here. Yeah, okay. This is what we get. So 3 votes for the D tier, 4 votes now. There's someone who think it's the worst role from the village. Basically from the entire village, because I think like if we look at the protectors and the informers and the shooting rolls, I think there's nothing that's as weak as the weakest roll in this tier list. So this is basically like saying this would be the weakest villager in the whole game. Hey, someone says it's an A tier roll. Okay, funny. Let's put it in the D tier. Someone voted A tier. I don't know. But okay. Let's. Someone said something about the festive rolls. Let's just finish the festive rolls real quick. Oh, Easter Bunny. I will make the poll right away. I don't know even if someone can explain what the Easter Bunny does. I would be curious to know. But I kind of forgot about it. Maybe I do know when you say it, but. Here's Easter Bunny. Easter Bunny is Santa, but the ho 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 is automatic. So basically, you have nothing to really. Yeah, you can't prove in that case. There you go. New poll in the new pinned comment, and also on Twitch here. Let's go. Easter Bunny was nighttime festive message, but it's auto, so no self-proof. It gives the dead player each night. Oh yeah. Oh, I think I remember that now. And you're screwed if you're turned as Easter Bunny, because you cannot gift anymore, I guess, in that case. And then you become like, yeah, suspicious, obviously. But if there's no medium, then you wouldn't be necessarily screwed, because there is nobody to tell the village that the gifts are not being sent anymore. Oh, no auto message. Oh, it's like an auto message every day. Oh yeah, then it's like actually really screwed. I would say that that probably puts it like I should probably still vote and also show the results then. That probably makes it like the weakest of the festive rolls in that case, because at least with the Pumpkin King you don't have to prove anymore when turned. You're just like not confirmable. Santa's then the strongest. I think that's like I didn't expect that, but then we somehow have like an order as well with the festive rolls. Bottom of the D tier, yeah, essentially. Although there is still gonna be like 1 or 2 more rolls in the D tier. Okay, that's it for the Easter Bunny. Let's go. Okay. Let's take a look at the... Okay, let's take a look at the annoying roll, the Pacifist. So now I want to know where this belongs, because this is toxic, but is it like S or A tier type of toxic? Pacifist, that's like, well, I don't know, but this could be I don't think this is S tier personally, because it's just like, it's not as useful or commonly strong as the Ritualist medium Conjurer. It's probably also not stronger than Soulbinder, but man, could it be B tier? That's actually like possible. I don't hate it though. It can help sometimes. Yeah, but it's toxic. Like revealing someone, I don't like that. It's just like, it can definitely be strong. That's why it probably should be in a higher tier here. Not like S or A maybe, but A could be like, you could make an argument for A. It's definitely not a D tier roll. And maybe not C either. C tier would make sense as it can provide info and save shadow as well, and also self-proof. I would say, yeah, technically they changed it a little bit, but I think most of the time you can basically self-proof. This is the kind of role, like, it feels like it's too strong for C. It's also too weak for A, I think. So would it be B then? I don't know, but then it's also like on the same tier as the Time Traveler and the Prayer and now the Soulbinder. It's B or A tier. In my A tier, people don't think you're Wolf Passy, because Passy Wolf only uses ability to save. Yeah, not really to like give info to village. Okay, here's a link. But yeah, I'm also like, A tier kind of feels strong too, because it's also just only one. It's not like you're seer and you're like constantly revealing everyone. Or Vigilante, that you also have a bullet. Here's for the chat in the Twitch. Okay. Ah, this is pretty convincing. Pretty convincing B tier so far. I also voted B tier, by the way. B tier sounds right, yeah. 2 people put it in A tier and 1 in C tier. Like, I don't know. Why would you guys put it in C or A tier? Like, what's like the argument, the reasoning for the A tier or the C tier? I know Alex voted C probably, and Botan is probably in A. But yeah, it's hard because compare it to the other roles, they're completely different. So sometimes that makes it also a bit hard to explain, maybe. The reveal nerf was for the best. Yeah, definitely. It did help a bit. I don't know, for the Fiji it doesn't really help that much, maybe, because yeah, people have like argued that the Fiji was better before this because, you know, it at least had the weakness of revealing like a very strong villager to the werewolves as well, and now it can just say like, hey, this person is good, instead of like, hey, this villager is medium, and then the werewolves know it as well. That's like the problem people have with the Fiji change. And the reveal nerf just passed Werewolf Passy by a lot. That as well. And I think that was also really, that was a really needed change for sure. Maybe put this in B tier. The B tier is definitely shaping up right now. How many rolls are left? 10. We're like halfway. Alright. Let's go and do... Let's tackle something in the Loudmouth tree right now. And let's go for the Loudmouth then. Loudmouth up next. Loudmouth is also like is it, could it be like high D tier or is it C tier? But is it really as strong as the Preacher? And this is arguably like, if I were to say like the 2 weakest villagers that have an ability and that are not festive, then Loudmouth and Flower Child would be it. obviously. But yeah, I don't know if it's like same tier. Does it deserve the same tier as Preacher? But at the same time, does it deserve the same tier as like Santa and the... Like Loudmouth is also pretty scapegoatable. I would say like, so what someone put for the Flower Child, I think you could also apply that for the Loudmouth. And I would, yeah. And even more so with the Loudmouth, with the Fool thing, because that used to be a strategy, at least in the past. Fool claiming Avenger or Loudmouth to get like, hey, I'm gonna tag or reveal someone if you kill me. So that was like, that's an argument for, in my opinion, for the Loudmouth to be pretty low. You gotta eat, have a nice meal. I think when you play aggro and annoying for evil, yeah, it can be very strong indeed. And I think it's like, it has potential, I guess, to be... If you are good at baiting, I would say this is a pretty strong role. Then it is a C tier role. Pretty basic, and sometimes it clutches, so it wouldn't deserve D tier and not top 20. Okay, you're not voting. I will try to remember that if there's a tie or something. Okay, let me make a poll for this, Loudmouth. There you go, Loudmouth. If you're Loudmouth, you play very sus, you're gonna be a very easy scapegoat. Absolutely. Okay, let me show results. Okay, I think it's pretty clear where this one goes. Someone put it in B tier, that's insane. Who put it in B tier? Like, okay. I can understand D tier. I was thinking about D tier as well. Why a high D or a low C? Oh no, never mind. That's that makes sense. I was thinking you said like high C or low B, but that's not what you said. Someone voted the B tier, that's insane. Interesting though. I wanna know why is it like B tier? No evil would want to kill a sus player unless they are very strong, and Loudmouth isn't strong at all, exactly. B tier is like, wait, B tier is like, that would be same strength with Pacifist, as Time Traveler, as Prayer, and as Soulbinder, at least for now. I think Soulbinder is gonna move up later, but still, these other roles are significantly stronger in my opinion. No way that it's in the same tier as the Soulbinder, indeed. Alright, let's put it in the C tier, that wins. It's gonna be low C tier then. What up next? Okay, let's do one that's kind of in the way now. Mayor. Okay, Mayor. Is this like B or A tier in your guys' opinion? I think it's gonna. I would say it's gonna be there probably. That's what where I would put the Mayor, but I think C is like, or it was C like for the Loudmouth still, because the Mayor is like, wow. Is it self-provable double votes? Like, people hate it when the Mayor is in the game. At least competitive people. If Preacher is C, Mayor would fall there too. I don't know. I actually think I would probably disagree with that because Preacher is like less provable. Mayor is like just instant proof. And it's way easier to do RV claim baits with the Mayor than with the Preacher. Like you could do it with the Preacher, but you need to be able to get at least one prediction right. If Preacher gets one correct guess, they are already strong. Yeah, in that case, they are. But I would say getting one correct guess is not like a given. At least not for a lot of players. Can be good when there's a shadow, but I think C or D tier. D tier is even lower. Wow. I don't think it does not compare at all with Santa Claus and stuff. I think like D tier would be way too low for sure, because that's basically like saying, yeah, okay, sure, Mayor would have this. Santa and Mayor are both like self-provable, but the ability of the Mayor is like, yeah, definitely more useful. Although I have to say that there's a lot of voting phases where you don't really need the extra votes, so sometimes it's not that important to have extra votes. Mayor D is Injustice. Mayor can beat RK up in 1v1. Exactly. Oh. Here's the new link to the poll. Now I'm gonna vote as well. I would say this. If there's wolf events, just don't reveal exactly. Sometimes you don't know if there's a wolf event though, like if it's random werewolf, but. Okay, so B is winning. I was surprised with that because the chat seems, you guys make it seem like it should be C or D, or nah, not D. Actually, that was like just probably a joke. But most of I saw some comments like saying it should be C tier. But yeah, I would say B. I voted B tier, but it's probably a low B tier though. Like I would say, the Pacifist is more useful because the info that Pacifist can get is typically just more useful than the extra votes of the Mayor. What else do we have in B tier again? Time Surfer is like, if it gets its use, it's way stronger than the Mayor. Prayer is probably stronger than Mayor too, and Soulbinder definitely. So yeah, it's low B, in my opinion at least. I changed my mind after some combination. I voted B. Aha, okay. I've beaten Arso and SK so many times, Mayor. I think I've not done it too often. Maybe like once only. Like I don't even remember having done it. I've seen happen in a video of Jack F, but yeah, that's long ago. Let's put it this one in B tier. Definitely looks like it has won the poll. We do still have like 2 other roles in this role tree, so I wonder where they are gonna be. Because the Mayor tree has been kind of interesting so far. Okay. Let's discuss an easier one, the medium. I think this is like this is gonna be kind of easy, right? Let me make the poll ready. Medium, I think, well, I can only imagine one tier being correct for the medium, but maybe you guys convince me of something else. You think A+? Why A+ for the medium? problem with medium is players always leave and expect me reviving only VG or Informer. I don't know if that's a problem per se, like the expectations. Unless you mean like, okay, people are leaving because they think you are only going to revive those roles. Yeah, then it can be annoying because you can't revive like protectors who are leaving. Usually it's just better to just announce who you're going to revive though. Or like, not even announce, but just suggest it. It's better if you are, especially if you have roles like Nightmare Werewolf, Voodoo Werewolf, it's just better to have, or even Arso, it's like, if there might be roles that are able to kill you quickly or give you nightmares or tag you, it's better to not really be very clear about you being medium quickly. Let me actually vote as well. S tier, nothing else to say. Lol, reviving any player just gives a huge edge to the village team as Ritualist. As Ritualist, yeah. But that's the same for medium. Okay, surprisingly, it's not like as one-sided as I thought it would be. There's actually 2 people voting A. I think that's Unknown and VO, but maybe VO didn't vote A tier, and it's fine if you didn't, or if you did. But it looks like we're gonna put the medium in the S tier. I don't know if it's gonna be like the strongest in the S tier. The power of Revive was very strong, but I rated A+ because compared to roles like Gunner, at best it's like S-. But we're not comparing to roles that are not in this tier list now. Like, I'm not gonna combine, I think, the roles from the different tiers into one tier list. I would just based on like the roles that we have on this tier list, I would say like, I don't know, man, but if we're gonna put something in S tier, it's gonna have to be the medium role tree, I think. And I would say Conjurer is like the most interesting of these 3 because that one is like, it has the potential to be the number 1 role, but it could also be like A tier, I don't know. But I think that one is also gonna be in the S tier, I suppose. Can I do a tier list for the Werewolves too? Yeah, we will do a tier list for the Werewolves too. Don't know when that's gonna happen. Maybe as a winter special in December. I don't know. I still have like, if we're gonna do all the werewolves in one tier list, it's gonna be like 20s. It's gonna be high up in the 20 number. So like we're thinking about like 29, 28-ish. That's like a lot of roles, so we probably need to take a whole afternoon for that. I do think though, like we are also having like the third-party roles. That's what is gonna be like in October or November. Conjurer would be S for me. In exchange for not being able to revive, you can breed anything. Yep, that's true. It's the most skillful role of this tree. Let me lock this one in right now, and then we'll go to. Let's go for one that's kind of more common now. The Bell Ringer. You guys discuss what the Bell Ringer should be. I'm gonna get some water real quick. You hate Bell Ringer, why? I actually love medium roll tree. I think it's fairly balanced in terms of like compared to each other. I've made a video about like why I think medium should have changed, but yeah, that was like an outdated video, and I didn't know about that TOS literally had those roll ideas that I suggested there. So that kind of makes it like kind of a weak video, honestly. If one dies, you know the role of the other. Yeah, it's like technically Bellringer has a reveal ability too, but I would say it's less toxic and there's more agency for the werewolves, because if you really want to, you could avoid the information that the Bellringer gives, and you can kill the Bellringer before that. Although, maybe that's not a fair argument, because you can do that with the Pacifist and Vigilant as well. I guess kill them before they can use it. The Bellringer takes a bit more time usually to get the info. At least you get some time with as a werewolf to kill a Bellringer if you really want to avoid that info. But it's kind of dumb to kill the Bellringer usually, because it's a scapegoat. Today, actually, the one game I played today in Sandbox, I was Wolf Trickster, I simulated Bellringer, and I got the ghost lady mislynched because I said like, hey, I put my bell on the watchdog, it died, and then, hey, 11 is Wolf Trickster, and then they actually believed it. And that made me live actually quite long, but yeah, we lost sadly. Because, yeah, honestly, I think I should have done like, framed someone else than the ghost lady. And then, because after I framed the ghost lady, was no one really to frame anymore. Okay, let's make a poll for the Bellringer though. Here you guys have the poll. Let me pin it as well. And Twitch is like pretty much dead, I think. Maybe there's like some lurkers. I don't know. Maybe there's some lurkers in the Twitch. But I don't see anyone chatting in Twitch. If you're in Twitch and you watch it and you want to chat, feel free to. You can also see it on the screen, and the YouTube can also see it. So there's still people who you can chat with, technically speaking. Did I give the Met link? Oh, oops. Is this better? Yeah, that's better. Okay, oops. Then we'll do this one. My Twitch chat is just one big spam link. One link spam. Now this is better. I wonder where the Bellringer actually should go. I'm probably gonna do this, honestly. Wow! Okay, interesting. Okay, C tier or D tier? Lower than Loudmouth, but it shouldn't be in the same tier. Is it lower than Loudmouth really? I think it's actually stronger than Loudmouth, personally. Although, I would say getting the reveal that the Loudmouth generates is obviously stronger than the reveal that the Bellringer generates, because everyone can see the Loudmouth reveal, and the Bellringer reveal, yeah, you can like still get like a fake Bellringer reveal like what I did today. So it's like pretty subjective still, Bellringer reveals. So you need a bit more trust as Bellringer, I guess, for your reveal to really work. But I would say like dying to get a reveal is probably worse. I don't know, actually. It's kind of like Bellringer also needs someone to die, but it's someone else at least. But yeah, I think low C would make sense. And I also did vote for the C tier. Alright. The only other reason it's not D is it gives the full rule, but for sure, very low C. Yeah. Alright, let's go for, I would say this is a potential loser. The President. I reckon everyone knows what the President does. If you don't, let me know. I do know very well what this rule does, because I've made multiple videos on it. But yeah. President S tier, yeah. Definitely not, though. The S tier is, the President is like, wow. So let me make the poll ready. S plus, actually, sorry, my bad. President needs their own tier, not gonna lie. You mean like unironically, or like just because it's so strong and President does need a rework, probably, yeah. It needs to be a bit more interesting, and it needs to be like unexploitable. I wish, to be fair, like Alex kind of suggests, I wish there were more roles that had this mechanic. And now it seems like we are getting more of these roles. I would say if they keep those festivity roles that we have now, also with the party role, for example, it's not like as gimmickal as the President, obviously, but if we get those roles as options in custom games at least, you can have like a lot of fun games actually with these roles. There's so much you can do with that. Same with President, of course, has that for a long time. Give President like strong abilities, can balance with downside. I don't know if it needs like OP abilities. Alright, let me share the poll now. This should be the President one. Now I'm gonna vote as well. You guys might already know what I vote here. Okay, wow. I have 2 votes for the not top 20. 1 for the S, that's a joke vote, and 1 for the A, that's also a joke vote. So I'm surprised nobody votes D tier here. Like, that's the tier I kind of suspect people would vote here. Make President like Catalyst in time to say it. Well, I don't know what that does. You just double someone's power, but to balance, you can't target strong villagers. I mean, that would be, maybe that could be fun, yeah? I would say that's actually a really good idea. That sounds like basically make someone your minister, and then that's like you can almost see it like lore-wise align really well, because you can make someone your minister, I don't know, every night or just once per game, and then that's kind of what your President's vision is like. Trying to how you're trying to reign the country. I don't know if that makes sense, but lore wise that is a really good idea for sure. Yeah, it'll give someone the ability to use their ability twice. Although, yeah, not on strong villagers obviously, because you don't want to have a gunner with 4 bullets or a VG with 2 reveals. Okay, it does look like we're gonna... Oh, oops. That's not the one I wanted to move, obviously. this one is gonna be here. We have nothing in the A tier, although I expect something to still go there. Let me actually quickly delete some polls, because I think there's a lot of polls here. Oh, maybe it's not a problem. Okay, what role is gonna be next? We have 5 more. Okay, let's take a look at the baker then. The baker is... like, I don't know where this one is gonna go. This is one of the more interesting ones that we still have. I think Conjurer is probably gonna be pretty easy. Rainmaker as well, I think. But the other 3, I don't know. They could like, be anywhere, really. Baker is the one role I genuinely don't know. Same with Granny and Fortune Teller. I think Baker, like if we're gonna compare it with like Preacher and Mayor, real quick, like giving bread can be pretty dangerous in Cupid and Insti games. Also, if you give bread to like Cursed or Grave Robber for some reason, then you're just dumb. Or Lurker, like unconverted Lurker. Only good thing about Baker is that the self-proof mode, but it's the only role in the Mayor tree that always loses to RK. Yep, that's also true, yeah. Yeah, and Preacher if you like got 0 predictions. But actually it's like, you're not gonna get 0 predictions. If you're gonna make it like that far as Preacher, like you're gonna predict someone. You're gonna predict the other villager obviously to die. In the last, when it's like 2 versus 1. And then you get 1 for 1 and you have like a guaranteed extra vote. So yeah, you're correct. Baker's like the only rule. And if you're really dumb for some reason, and or if you didn't save up a mute as Granny for the solo because you muted them like the night before or the day before, then yeah, that's just played badly, I guess. You can avert the Wolflancer, yeah. Same for Granny can also do that, because Granny doesn't really get extra votes. Granny just takes away votes. Okay, I think we have a link here. This is for the Baker. I once won as Baker against the Voodoo Werewolf, but it's really the only good scenario. Wait, why against the Voodoo Werewolf specifically? You need like, you cannot like win 1 for 1 against the Voodoo Werewolf, because then there is like it's an auto lose then, right? The thing that throws me off with the Baker is like we've put Mayor in B and Preacher in C, and now I think it's like difficult to place the Baker. I think it's closer to... Personally, I think it's gonna be closer to Mayor than to Preacher, honestly, in terms of output. So I am gonna vote B tier, but I'm apparently the only one. Yeah. Okay, interesting. We'll just win if all are K-dead and reach majority. Yeah. Baker's a worse Mayor because you have to trust someone again. Stuff like couple. Yeah, that is true. But I think in practice it's usually just closer to a Mayor than to a Preacher, because the Preacher has like a skill. As a level of skill involved. Only 5 viewers. I think there were already only 5 viewers because everyone who... I feel like everyone who's like voting also watches, and that's it. Votes. I don't know why we've been like so low today. Either the rolls don't interest, or it has been, or it's just a bad moment to stream. I don't know what it is. Baker is much worse. Needs some kind of rework or buff. What kind of buff are you thinking of then? Giving 2 people extra vote. But then wouldn't that be like way too strong? Like I think like if you say once per game give 2 people the bread, then I would say yeah. But if you think if every night, then you get like you can like quite easily overpower votes. Like even more than otherwise. And if you only do it once per game, but you give 2, and the other nights you just give 1 bread, then I think you also have a bit more skill involved with like when are you going to use it. But yeah, I'm gonna put it in C tier considering it's that wins the poll obviously. I would say yeah, that's too much probably. Alright, what the hell are we gonna do next? We have 4 rolls remaining. Okay, let's do Rainmaker next. Oh. Rainmaker? Okay, I don't know. I think you guys know what Rainmaker does, but if not, I will explain real quick. As Rainmaker, you have 2 sticks that you can give at night. You cannot change the selection once you've given the sticks, and basically what a stick does, if a player gets lynched and has a stick, the voting will be cancelled. So basically you can protect 2 players during voting phase instead of like Flower Child who only protects once, but it's way more rigid. It's like it's similar to Ritualist kinda, because with Ritualist compared to Medium, like you select like at some point and it's set in stone. Once you've like select someone, although Ritualist can change it a bit more, I suppose. But like Ritualist, if the Rainmaker is dead, the stick still works, so you can save post-death, I guess. But yeah, that's the advantage of the Rainmaker. I think this is a really interesting role. I would love to see this in game, but it's kind of weak, like Flower Child. It's kind of like a role, why would we have this in game? But I think it's like one of the few balanced roles that we have that's like not official in the game yet, so... It's a double FC basically, yes, but it's not as flexible as a Flower Child. Note that people do know that it's Rainmaker saves them. Depends on how you mean, because the Rainmaker, if someone is saved, yeah, people will know that the Rainmaker saved, but people will not know that they have a stick. At least that's according to the description in the game. People don't know if they got a stick, so you only really know it once the save happened. And since there's no werewolf counterpart to this role, imagine there would be. That would be really strong. But yeah, since there's no werewolf counterpart, like if someone is getting saved by a stick, you know 100% like, okay, the Rainmaker saved them. And if someone claims that, then they're confirmed, yeah. Rainmaker can only give sticks at nighttime, and it's like, it can easily be worse. Yeah, it can be worse because... Especially that one scenario where the Flower Child is good in shadows, the Rainmaker would be useless unless you happen to have like given the sticks to someone who's getting lynched, which is kind of random if that happens like day 1 and you gave sticks night 1 to someone who is then happens to be the seer. But yeah, in general the Rainmaker is not that strong. But I think it's an interesting role, interesting enough at least that I would say that they like could implement it. It's maybe not like, it should be a bit more polished perhaps, but it's definitely more balanced than some other roles we have been testing. Watchdog and Prayer. Let's see. Rainmaker, I'm gonna make a poll now. Imagine day 1 Shadow activates and you can't even save the Seer. Yeah, that's when you are screwed as Rainmaker. Werewolf claiming Watchdog is Watchwolf. Yeah, technically true. Yeah, so that's the thing with the Rainmaker. If you compare Flower Child with Rainmaker, then you get like, well, Rainmaker has like 2 saves and can save when it's dead. Flower Child is more flexible, so if you compare those 2 roles, they are balanced, so they could be both in game. The problem then becomes the Pacifist, obviously, which is just, that is just arguably a lot stronger. Yeah, I'm gonna vote as well. And I think it's not really difficult to choose a tier, although I would say it probably needs to be on the higher end of this tier. I voted the D tier. Someone put C. And someone thinks it's like the weakest role in the game, of the village at least. There are equally balanced piles of garbage. Yeah, kinda, yeah. So D tier is fine. I think that I'm not gonna, I don't know, if we were to order them, I would say this, then it's like either this or Santa is probably the strongest on the D tier. But yeah, let's not order them now. My rate is not top 20 and FC is D tier. But a botanist, would you also, if Rainmaker is like the bottom tier, that means that you would also put Villager and President in D tier then, right? You all forget that Forky exists. It's the not top 20. Yeah, it's like I've put like, I voted President to be not top 20 personally, but it's, I would say like, if we're gonna be brutally honest, it's like President or Forky is like the worst of this tier list. President is a con, which makes it like weaker than a Villager, but it's at least proven. And for self-confirm, you get a ton of burden. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I would say President is the weakest. But yeah, you could argue about that. I say, like, I can see why people would say Forkman is weaker, but you think it's having it here is weird. I think it makes sense though, although it's not like, obviously it's not in the roll card system, but I think like it's kind of similar to having, well, I don't know if it's like similar to the festive rolls, because it's not, the festive rolls are not like win conditions, but I would say like it's still like when you actually play, I would say if you play President games, the President still feels enough of a Villager to be like considered a Villager, you know what I mean? And I could have like put Assassin in the solo killers, but that one felt a bit off to me, especially because you cannot really combine Assassin with other roles anyway. So yeah, that wouldn't like, Assassin is like not comparable. Like Assassin is the only thing that's not comparable with anything really. Let's go for the last 3 roles. Let's do the easiest one here, probably Conjurer. Okay, Conjurer. I will just make a poll ready. I think this is this is pretty easy, probably. Although I can also see why someone would put it in A tier. Conjurer easy S. You would rank Conjurer above Matt. Yeah, we're going to look at some tiers and rank. We're gonna do some rankings within the tiers. Hello, Jimmy PF on Twitch. I read it a bit late, maybe. I don't have a lurk command, I think, actually. But yeah, thanks for lurking here, Jimmy. Alright, Conjurer, let's go. Where does Conjurer go? Well, pretty easy. I'm gonna vote as well. Wow, this is unanimous. Okay. The only one that's unanimous. We've not had a single one that's like this. It's so it's so new to me that there's like a black stripe in there. SL can be compared with precedents such as that if they die, the team loses, but the difference is SL can kill and bypass protect. Yep. President versus sect leader games are actually kind of fun, but you kind of do need like to be very wary of giving in. That's like the one con, but that's always with sect leaders, but especially in President games. You didn't know there was only there will only be one role in the bottom tier. Okay, we have a clear S tier here, of course. We're gonna rank the S tier later, that's for sure. Conjurer gets countered by so many rolls. What do you mean with that exactly? It's the same scenario versus Warden. The Conjurer player needs to be really good, and the role needs to work with Conjurer. Yeah, you have like roles that are not that interested, that are not that good to take, obviously. But pretty much, yeah. Especially if you have roles that have like limited abilities. That's like the scenario where I can see Conjurer not being as strong. Like if you have, I don't know, if a lot of people already used other abilities and you pick, like imagine you have like, I don't know, FC who saved, well you're not gonna pick FC, but okay, Bellringer who already got their info. You're gonna have like, what's a protector that is like one use? I don't know, something like Night Watchman when there's like no other protectors and the protections are already used, or Butcher when there's like no meats anymore. If you have those scenarios, yeah, you're kind of useless as Conjurer. Oh, you accidentally what happened? Dama accidentally Huh? Dama, what did you accidentally butterfingers? But did you ban them? Wait, I don't. It's Botanist suddenly like has all the messages hidden. Botanist, we're gonna try to fix this, by the way, don't worry. You'll be back. I don't know, if I click on Botanist, it doesn't allow me to do anything with it though. Shadow banned Botanist, but now it's back, just old messages gone. Okay. Oh yeah, I see it, but Botanist is like, okay. Okay, good. Botanist is back. Alright, let's go and take another roll. What would be a fun roll next? Okay, we've either fortune teller or granny. Let's do granny. Okay, what do you guys think of grumpy grandma? Like, we have so far, mayor is B. I'm sure like granny has to be B or C then, but mayor is B, preacher and baker are C, and not in a particular order here, but is granny like... I think there's the kind of a weakness of granny is that you... Well, first of all, you cannot mute the same player twice in a row, and secondly, sometimes muting... Sometimes you just would like to vote block someone, but not per se mute, because sometimes it could be useful to get a bit more info out of the player, like getting more leads into whether they are like fool or werewolf per se, or just, yeah, some players don't know really well what to do when they are kind of exposed evil. Granny's tricky, but Mayor is still better, except in Wolfluencer games, where you can always reveal until Wolfluencer died. Exactly. Granny A tier. Okay, here's the poll. For the grumpy grandma. Granny ain't in A tier. I think it's a bit too high if you put an A tier, but you can do it. I've always really liked this role, but there was a really long time, well, I don't know, like on the grand scope of things, right now it's not that long, but there was quite a long time back in 1819 when the Grumpy Grandma was in game technically, but they never used it. It was really kind of this banned type of role. It was not in RV, it was never in setups, even though it exists since June of 2018, so it's pretty old. And I think they only like regularly implemented somewhere in 2019 again. Granny is like opposite of Mayor, yep. Yeah, Granny's muting, but that's not like if Granny's accidentally mute good players, then I would say that's something you could account for. But Granny's like by purposefully muting good players, that's just trolling. I don't want to count trolling into potential. It's strength potential. 8 tier is winning, wow. Oh wait, I need to show. I know Dama is not gonna agree with this. And personally I voted B tier here. GG muting a controlled mayor. Wait, what do you mean with that? Like, you mean a game where you have like Grumpy Grandma and Mayor? Oh no, you mean a control, like, yeah, so a game with a Grumpy Grandma and a Mayor that is Wolfluence, and then muting them so that the Wolfluence is kind of cancelled. Yeah, that's like, sometimes that works, I guess. It's kind of annoying if you have to be that Mayor, like you're getting influenced and muted from all sides, but yeah. Like, that is actually a valid counter to, like, Wolfluencer, for sure. Granny reminds me of your custom game video in 2022, where it's 2 Voodoo, 2 Seers, Corruptor, Gunner, 2 RVs, and the rest are all Grandma. Oh, that video is, like, kinda legendary. I remember that video because I won as a Voodoo Werewolf in that game. That was kinda funny. That's like one of my better plays probably, even though it's like custom games. So how like how good is a play really in custom games? Although the players were decent, it's like kind of hard to compare. Yeah, you can always throw. So even though if you think like people throw more with this role than other roles, throwing is not something you should like account for. Trolling, let's put it that way. This is crazy. Mayor is better than Granny. If Granny is A tier, then Mayor is also A tier. People forget that basically the same thing as Mayor in terms of power. Mayor +1 fill, Granny mon. Yeah, exactly. The only thing I would say like is the Granny, like Granny has 2 disadvantages though. Or nah, in particularly one, namely just you cannot mute the same player twice. But as Mayor, you are always like you always have the same player has 2 votes, and not like that doesn't have to change. You don't have to give your votes away. That would be with Baker already. So I guess if you count that in, the Granny could be like weaker than the Mayor. Also, hello, welcome back, Skylo more on Twitch. Granny feels more like B tier than A. I would say so too. I would say Granny. I voted B tier here as well. It's kind of a tie right now because T is basically worse than B votes. Yeah, but the majority is like A tier. Like if there's like a tie and then there's like 1 bonus vote, I will count it towards. I will count the bonus vote towards the tier where it's closest to. But now we don't have like we have a settled agreement on the A. If that makes sense. Okay, let's put the Granny. Where is that? Here. Okay, let's just take this one out. In the A tier. This is the first A tier role, apparently. I don't know if it's gonna stay in the A tier. And it's definitely not gonna stay alone, I'd figure. But for now, it is the only one. But even if Granny dies, your mute will still go. Yeah, true. You're gonna mute someone you sure is evil, which is the early and mid game. Mayor's only weakness is Wolfman's, but you can easily play around it. Yeah. Okay, fortune teller. Evil Granny is scary. What do you mean with Evil Granny? Reminds me of my game mode with like, if you mute a villager, you win. If you mute the Forkman specifically, we should play that again someday. You know, I don't know. When's the next? Let me think. What is like the thing that I recently streamed as well? Oh yeah, we did the role design thing. But you know what? The next time we play customs, we might actually do the Evil Granny setup again, because that's a lot of fun. Okay, let's move on to the final role here, fortune teller. Opinions on the fortune teller. Our note says FT is C or B tier. Only thing you got itself confirmed. Yeah, you got self confirmed. The cards are kind of useless, but it's also like if you play according to its strength, and say like people don't reveal, and I will die, and if I die, I reveal 2 players. It's basically a double Loudmouth. So, and some skilled players, I've seen that a lot in the hints that I've been judging with Dama. Some skilled players are good at like using the cards like less second and knowing when they will die, and then just getting to reveal 2 players. Well, it's not like it doesn't require that much skill, obviously. I just never thought of doing that for some reason. Oh, evil. Oh, you mean like instigated or coupled Granny? Yeah. I think Mayor. I don't know which of these 2 would be stronger. if you play like, I would say if you play like Loudmouth, this roll is like a double Loudmouth. Let's make a pull for this. I think what's gonna be easier with this tier list in particular is, I see like, I don't know if it's like just because there's less people watching than usually, but I feel like there's more of a consensus. It's pretty easy to rank these roles because they are so distinct and so different in power that it's not like really hard to play some roles. Although with the B and C tier are a bit hard, but the others are not that difficult. The extremes are really easy to do. Okay, here's the poll, and here's the poll for Twitch. For the fortune teller. Like, I don't know, to what degree should we count for the self-provability here? Like, I genuinely don't know if I want to vote B or C, because they are like, I can see that on both. And some people put it like really high. I don't know if it's like that toxic of a role. Well, it's kind of an annoying role, I have to say, but is it like same tier as Time Traveler and Passy and Mayor? I'm probably gonna say, I would say so actually, yeah. I'm gonna go B as well. Okay, wow, this surprises me kinda, but sure. We have 2 votes on the A, 2 on the B and 1 on the C. That's insane. Kinda. So, I don't know where the A votes come from, but yeah, I did not expect to see A votes. I think Skylo voted A, or didn't you? A is probably too high. People are trolling, the A vote is completely unreasonable. I don't know where the A vote even comes from, because I've not seen anyone ever in any chat saying that this is like A tier. Yeah, this is a case where, okay, B tier is now getting an extra vote. If T was never nerfed, FT being A is fine, fair, ideal. Wait, what was? Oh yeah, with the you cannot like fake the reveal. Yeah. If that was the case, yeah, it was definitely A. But with how it works right now, it's probably, yeah, B or C. If it was like, we've had like a previous, if it was the previous version, in which it didn't like the whole FT dies and then the cards are revealed thing. If that was not a thing, then this would be a D tier roll, because that just was like, okay, 2 people get a card. Okay, yeah, the only thing it had was like self-provability back then, because 2 people get a card, but anyone can fake anything, so it says nothing really. Other than that, you have to, then that evils are like framed to claim a role. Oh, you voted A. So, Ruby, in that case, basically what the fortune teller does right now, yeah, that's why they vote the A tier, I guess. Fortune teller is like, okay, you give 2 cards. If you give a card to a villager and they use the card, they reveal their role. If you give it to an evil, the evil gets to choose as which role they reveal. So basically they can just claim a village role with the card. And if you are a fortune teller and you die, and people have cards but not revealed but didn't reveal their roles with the cards, then their real role gets revealed. So that's why people play it like Loudmouth. Then they give like cards a second, hope they die, and then 2 people who don't have the time to reveal their roles, and then you still get like 2 infos out. But yeah, in general, it's kind of suspicious if you are werewolf and you reveal your role. Like, that's kind of the meta right now. Don't reveal your role if you get a card, because only werewolves want to do that. To avoid like the fortune teller revealing the true role. But yeah, fortune teller has gone through so many states, so I would understand why you're confused about it. If anyone has a card and the FT dies, the card auto reveals. Yep. I think a B tier is fair though, and we'll place it there. And now all rules are ranked. Okay, so we're not gonna rank the tiers. We're not gonna all the tiers within themselves. I would say we were gonna just do some moving in the tiers. I know one role in particular is gonna move up. Or actually 3, because we don't have space on the. We only have like 1 role on the bottom one. Okay, let's start with the bottom. I'm gonna make a new poll. This is gonna be a little bit different, obviously. Which role is the weakest and stays in not top 20? Let's go. And then we have like 3 options: Flower Child, Villager, President. Okay. Okay guys, this is the poll for the bottom spot. And Twitch, here is your poll. FT would only be used for people to claim something, but yeah. I have to say though, Skylo, I did use my card the other day when I got a card as a werewolf. I did use my card and nobody pushed me for it. So if you are lucky and the fortune teller isn't like a smart player, or nobody in the village is really, you can get away with revealing a fake role as werewolf. Does present option include there is being a setup for present in which there's a lot of protectors, or no? We don't really have like, it's not, we don't really consider like, just think of like your average present setup. Usually they have like 2 protectors and a weaker type of protector. Like, I don't know, that's at least what I'm used to. Like bodyguard, doctor, and tough guy, for example. We are gonna change the Soulbinder, yes. What the fuck are you talking about? President is the strongest role, lol. What is the poll suggesting? I am voting. You saw I voted president. Oh, it's 100% vote for the president to be the lowest one. Okay. Okay, that makes it a bit easier. We're gonna move this. We're not gonna order the tier at least. Flower Child. Preston is officially the weakest villager in the game. But yeah, that's not counting Cursed, Cupid, Grave Robber, blah blah blah. But yeah, those roles are like gonna be in another tier list. Alright. Then, now we've had the President. Okay, what is like... Okay, we can easily change the Soulbinder. Okay. Can anyone... I'm not gonna make a poll for this unless really necessary, but... Is there anyone who disagrees with moving Soulbinder to the A tier? Like, I don't know if it's like S tier, but if you guys think it's S tier, I can make a poll for it then. But I do not. You do not agree with moving SB to the A tier, or you now you pulled it back. SB too low, S tier. It's hard counter against info prevention, like Confusion Werewolf, and really easy self-proof, all in rule. It is, but like, yeah, it's very versatile. Okay, it does seem like I have to make a poll in that case. There you go. And here's the Twitch message. I do not mind it being shifted to higher A. It's fine, but not S. Yeah, so we have some controversial opinions there then. Okay, let me show the poll real quick. There you go. So 2 votes for A, 1 for S. I can lose an SB because it's literally nothing of value lost here. As in, if you mean like if the Soulbinder dies, there's no like material actually gone. Yeah. SB is better than Grandma and Mayor. It's in low S. Yeah, surviving is better, but being able to completely hard counter info prevention is strong on its own. Yeah, I guess so. You guys can't vote, eh? There's like there's only 3 votes. Okay, now it's 4. Like, poo, it's tight as well. What does Soulbinder say? Soulbinder replaces medium in the setup. Yes, typically it does at least. I could open the game real quick and see if in quick game there's like. It happens to be that in quick game they have like both sometimes. I'm checking that real quick. If that's the case right now, for example, but. Game is not loading. Yeah, okay. Game doesn't seem to collaborate, I guess. Okay, someone says stay in B tier. Okay, if that is the case, if no one else votes, what I would do in that case, like this is the case where I look at the odd vote and say like we're gonna add the stay in B to the A tier here because the other votes are tied. So I would say we're gonna make it A tier in that case. Where is Soulbinder? There. This is not in particular order, by the way. Wait, let me move Fortune Teller to the left. It looks a bit better. Not that it means that it's stronger than all these rolls, but yeah. If it's in A, put highest. We could do that, but they are not like ordered right now. They're not put in order. Okay. And SB and Ferryman can be. I didn't know about that. Okay, let's go. We have. Before before we go and do the final tier, we are for one tier we are going to make we are going to rank them. But if anyone wants to move another role still to a different tier, let me know it right now. Because the S tier is the final one we're gonna rank. We're gonna order the S tier in this case. The Ritualist, Medium, and Conjurer, which I think is like a very interesting debate that we're gonna have because there's so much to say about that. Can you put Mayor in B tier? It's with Grandma. Okay, is there anyone who agrees with that? Skylo says Granny to B. That's also an option. Let's make a one poll for those two. I think I can do that. Mayor and Granny. Both should be A. Both should be B. Granny A, Mayor B. Actually, that should be the options. We've already settled, I think, with the people here that Granny, if one of them is gonna be stronger, then Granny is stronger. It exists in books where Matt, Red, Conjure Fairy could see Soulbinder chat when they're not supposed to at night. Is that right now? Is that a bug at now, right now, or is that like already patched and was a short time? Okay. Hello, Duan. Welcome in. Hey, why is Wolvesville shutting down every servers? Is there actually an issue right now? Because yeah, when I tried to launch the game, it didn't work either. So. That's interesting. So maybe there is maybe they are doing some maintenance. In that case, you can also just join our stream with the tier list. Let's go. But yeah, I think there's some maintenance going on. In the Discord, they should update you about maintenance, though. I don't have Discord open right now, but yeah. Let's see this poll though. There's actually another bug when I'm pretty sure you can see messages from other night chatting roles. It's very rare, but it happens. Wow, okay. This is not gonna be an easy debate, apparently. Okay. Let's see, is anyone gonna vote as well? Do we get a 4th vote? Then we get like one answer. Okay, both should be A, apparently. Let's see. Let me move this to the side for real quick. I can move the mayor up. Fine, as long as Mayor and Granny are together, they are almost in the same terms of power. Yeah, for sure. Oh, someone tied it again. Oh no, never mind. Yeah, someone tied with both should be. That's gonna make things like, in this case, that's like making things impossible because the purple option does like gives no context for the green and red option. You know, if needed, I will take back my vote. Which then makes this stay, because I said they should be both B tier. So in that case, we'll just keep them in A tier, because then red wins. Alright. Let's go to... Oh, let's move this one at least. Is there anything else we need to change tier? Like... No more Soulbinder, Granny, Mayor. Maybe there is like something around the C tier that you guys want to change. I figured the D tier looks pretty good as well already. But maybe in the B or C tier there's something you guys want to change. Preacher in the B tier. I guess that makes sense now that the Mayor and Granny moved up. Scudder says Pacifist is stronger than Granny and Mayor in my opinion. Pacifist to A, okay. Let's do those polls real quick. Pacifist goes in. Let's do the Pacifist one. Then we'll do the Preacher one after that. And I will also ask for the Baker, I guess, but I think you guys already say that the Baker should stay in the C tier. Okay, where is the Passy gonna be? Actually, I might also do this. Scarlo, you have your chance to change the poll. I did vote for A, actually, now. But if it's gonna be tie, I will retract my vote as always. So yeah, if someone wants to decide here, you guys can decide whether this is gonna be a B or A tier. Oh man, I'm not sure if Preacher is B or A tier though. Preacher in A tier would be insane, in my opinion. Oh, you didn't vote yet, but this is for Pacifist. Dama, by the way. This is the Pacifist. I will give you the time to do it. Okay. This is gonna be a B tier. Then it's gonna stay. Okay, let's do the Preacher and the Baker. Preacher and Baker. Both B. Bessie can't be in the same tier as Granny. I don't know. The review is really strong. Don't underestimate that. And so usually you don't really get to see. Usually the I would say like Pacifist has more potential to. It's like more likely to change a game than the Grumpy Grandma or the Mayor, because usually you already have like a stronger part in the votes than the werewolves and the solos and stuff. So I would say the Pacifist usually has a more practical use than the Granny and the Mayor. Okay, let's see. What should be the options for the Preacher and the Baker, guys? I put like both B, both in C. Preacher B and Baker C. I don't know. I've not seen anyone say like Baker B and Preacher C. But someone said that it had to be an A tier, right? Or am I crazy? By the way, we cannot see all the roles that exist in the game right now. Previously we could with a Where's that question mark? What question mark icon do you mean, Skylo? Yeah, but Dama, I think for Pacifist, look, if you are gonna use Pacifist for the votes, that's usually not how you use the Pacifist. The Pacifist is usually used for the info. Yeah, sure, Vigilante reveal is better because it doesn't... It works together with the voting phase, so you can reveal werewolf and then also vote the werewolf out immediately. But Pacifist can be very clutch when there's like no roles that can like reveal exact roles. If you get what if there's no Seer and VG and you don't know who the fool is, then the Pacifist is like your answer basically. So, and that scenario doesn't happen that often because Pacifist is not that often in game. But there are definitely games in which there are no Vigilant and no Seer, because if there's like a gunner and bully and someone took analyst, or it's a detective game to begin with, then the Pacifist becomes like one of the more viable options to get like concrete info. And Paci can also shut down Shadow better than the Flower Child for sure. And that is also better, I would say, than having a Mayor in a Shadow or a Grumpy Grandma, because they only limit it one player. But the Pacifist just cancelled out the whole Shadow ability. So that's why I think the Pacifist could be like similar strength as Mayor and Grumpy Grandma, but the poll said otherwise. Alright, let's do just these three options. I think that makes enough sense. This one coming up next is for the Preacher and the Baker, by the way. There you go. But where's VG3 and other vills? Oh, in the main menu you mean, Skydo. I think it's still there, but I don't know. There might still be a roles section there, but you can also just go to the roles menu on the home screen, but it doesn't have like seasonal roles and stuff like that. Unless you're like, I think it does show if you have like a new account and don't have any role cards yet. Then it might show, I'm not sure. In custom games you can also see like these roles. At least if you have like premium. I would say this. I'm gonna vote as well. I know pretty well what I'm gonna vote. So there you go. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, so we know one thing for sure. That's that the Preacher is gonna be B tier. However, what's gonna happen with the Baker? That's kinda the question here. Because the poll, okay, now we see the poll, okay. Preacher B, Baker C, that's what it's gonna be apparently. Then I will just move the Baker a bit more to the left so that the space is filled in well enough. I think that might be everything in terms of moving tiers. I don't know, I've not seen any other complaint yet. Like we could talk about like one of the earlier rules, like Prayer or Time Traveler, but I don't know if anyone wants to talk about those. Bessie can shut down, yeah. This is fine. Okay, let's keep this. We'll go to... We'll do the final step then, and then I'm gonna end the stream. The S tier. So, let's do one by one. Weakest S tier. This is, like, genuinely could be very close, although we don't have enough votes to make it look like it's close. Which role is gonna be the weakest in the S tier? Conjurer, Medium, or Ritualist? We still have Rainmaker. Rainmaker is in D tier. You think the current S tier order is good? I'm gonna make a poll anyways, because we didn't rank it specifically earlier. But I expect that you are gonna vote the Conjurer as the weakest one. Skylo, why should I move the Rainmaker? If I move the Rainmaker down to not top 20, that means that the President moves up to the D tier. Do you agree with that? Because we have 21 rolls, so there's exactly gonna be 1 roll in the bottom tier here. Alright, let's see for the weakest S tier though. Yeah, Rainmaker is just same as FC, but garbage in a different way, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, we kind of figured like, well, Flower Child was in the debate earlier on for the weakest role, but yeah, at least we got some sense in the chat here at some point, and President or Villager was really like, no, President was really the only answer. Weakest S tier, I'm gonna vote 2. I wonder what the result will be. Here we go. Okay, Conjurer with a good majority. So then Conjurer can stay. Okay, let's say this one is gonna be the strongest S tier. Go. Strongest role in the tier lists. Okay, this is the final one. Ritualist or medium. I don't know. This is like an indefinite debate you could have with different people, and you always get different answers, which is a very, which shows it's very good. It's really well balanced in that case, and also very interesting. Hello, I'm not creative in the chat. Welcome in. That's kind of a negative name for you, honestly. You can also vote if you want. I'm not creative in this poll that I just posted in the chat. You can vote which you think is the strongest role on the tier list amongst the Ritualist or the medium. Those are the options right now. Only time it's worse is if it's Strong Knight 1 kill that you didn't spell, but too situational to be worse than Matt. Yeah. Like personally, I prefer going with medium, but I don't know if it's like, I think Ritualist is like objectively a bit stronger. Ritualist just can't revive useful rolls that die day 1, exactly. And also, it takes a bit of time as well, of course, when someone dies, but that doesn't really change the game usually. Ritualist can also revive, yeah, exactly, like what? like some third-party roles. Sometimes you just revive the wrong player. Yeah, also that helps. Ritualist, I would say that's a proper pro for the Ritualist, that you have like that you can revive hidden roles, tricked roles, scribed roles, stuff like that. That's a proper pro for the Ritualist, I would say. And that's probably the best part, yeah. Confusion Wolf, Corruptor, Trickster, exactly. So it looks like, okay, Ritualist is like obviously gonna win that. So I think that's gonna be it then. Someone asked for the tier list before. Somehow my OBS deleted one of the scenes. I don't know, one of the scenes got corrupted, but yeah, here you can see like the older screens we have. These are a bit different, and also don't have multi-chat. So sorry, Twitch chat is not seen right now, but I will still read you. Yeah, this is like the one for the shooters. This was a way less rolls, of course. With Avenger and Priest in the low tiers. These were ordered though. What else did we have? We have the Protectors. We also did Informers, but that one I lost. I lost the Informers one for some reason. But I can watch back the stream. You can also watch back the stream of the Informers on my YouTube channel if you want to check what the tier list there ended up being. This was for the Protectors. We counted Jailer and Warden for protecting and killing here. And also the Witch Tree, actually. Evil Ritualist can even revive Insti. Yeah, that's true. Kinda niche. And this is the solo killer one. Yeah, the conversion rolls easily swooped. I don't know why the Alchemist got S tier here. Well, it's strong, but is it conversion strong? I don't know. But yeah, this is like... This was the first one we did with the solo killers. Let's go back to this one though. I was just higher than Priest. Yeah, why was that again? I think because 2 bullets and also... yeah, you were able to kill like solos. I think that was the debate with the Sorcerer, Werewolf fan, stuff like that. That you can like... That the priest doesn't like bypass that. That makes it weak. But people didn't really... When we did that one, when we did that tier list, I think people kinda neglected crowd control as a function of the priest. Lockpicker not top 10 because he is not in game anymore, because if not it's an S tier. Oh yeah, the locksmith was interesting too, because people didn't know what it did, so people put it here in the bottom, but I was pretty convinced it's like self-provable and constant protection, so it should be like really high. But yeah, people disagreed, or there was like, no, someone, I don't know, it might have been like Unknown or Dama. I think Dama, who thought like it worked differently. Or maybe it was someone else, I don't know. But there was some debate about that. And sadly, we wanted to test it. But then we found out that the locksmith is sadly not with us anymore in the game. Yeah, protect speed was the debate. Yeah, protect speed. I remember playing with Hypo and we just couldn't die. It was only us, yeah. Yeah, it was you. Oh, it was you about the protect speed, yeah. Yeah, sadly we cannot test it, man. I wanna see how it actually works. I think they should, yeah, they removed it because it had like, it had bugs with other test rolls or something like that. But I hope they fix it and just give us the ability to try them as well. I should also ask for the 3 new Halloween rolls, if I can get access to those, because I will be back with a stream like in 2 weeks. Next week no stream. When is like 12th? So I think I will do some custom games on the 12th, and we could like, if they implement those rolls, we'll do that. I also want to do the Evil Granny setup again. We can have a lot of fun with the custom games in the next stream we do. If it worked like what Hypo said, it's OP. If it worked like what I said, it's bad. Yeah, exactly. Why was BH so low? Oh, which tier list? Oh, that must have been the Protector one. It's not on this tier list at all. Because I think Scapegoat and Slow. Especially because it's slow. But yeah, the difference between Trapper and Peace Hunter is quite big, as you can see. This was like a tier list. Nobody put this. We didn't really have a C tier because we all... Well, I don't know if all of us, but there was pretty big of a difference between B and not top 10. Yeah, this is GOAT, so the not top 10 rolls are like, well, apart from Locksmith, which we don't know, the bottom tier is like, these are like the balance protectors, and everything starting from B tier is broken, or has some issue, or should not be like, or it's like, maybe not fair to predict, because I don't know if Warden, Jailer, Witch, and Flagger are per se broken. They're just much stronger. But Night Watchman is broken, Trapper is broken, Tough Guy could be considered broken, Astro is broken, Butcher is broken, a Forger maybe as well, I don't know. It's good when you know how to use it. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was interesting for sure. We still have like 2 tier lists, one for the werewolves and one for the voting rolls plus the third party. So we have like, I think the voting roll and stuff will be the next one, end of October or end of November. Then we have like Fool, Headhunter, Anarchist. I can't come up with the name. And Cupid, Insti, Cursed, Grave Robber, Lurker, and Werewolf Fan. So that's gonna be exactly 10 rolls in the next one. So we don't have a not top 10 tier then. We're gonna have, that's gonna be the shortest one for sure. But that's for the next time that we do this type of tier list. Yeah, questionable was the Light Watchman indeed. Put not top 5. I could put not top 5, yeah. And then we do like B, A, and S tier. Other than those. Because I don't think we need a C tier when we have like only 5 rolls to distribute in the top. But that tier list will, the next tier list will be the hardest for sure, because yeah, we're gonna base them off strength and thus like winning chances. But they're so questionable. Yeah, they're so different. I'm like looking forward to that one because I'm curious to see what kind of arguments will be thrown in there. The werewolves will be interesting too because there's so many of them, and that's like a really I think that's gonna be one that people want to see as well. Alright, anyways, thanks for being here, guys. I didn't have that many people tuning in sadly today, but everyone who was here, I appreciate you even more now. And in 2 weeks I will be back with a stream, custom games then. Next week I will upload a video, a tournament video actually, about the official tournament. I made a poll for my members and they wanted me to upload that video. It's a video in which it actually lasted till day 13, I think, yeah. So that video, if you've seen a tournament game like on a stream or you played in it, you probably know what game I'm talking about. That's gonna be an analysis slash gameplay video next week on Sunday. That's the plan now. By the way, is Cursed working with werewolves to win with them in the end considered throwing? Someone said no and some said yes. In the rules it is throwing, but in practice it's just like increasing your odds. So it's kind of like, yeah, if you don't want to break the rules, if you want to play by the rules, don't do it. If you just want to win, do it. Basically. Yeah, that's like what I would say. It's kind of like, it's your choice. Want to break the rules and win, or want to stay like polite with the rules, or you want to agree with the rules and not play against them, but then lose. It's yeah, unturned. I would only do that stunt when it's obvious that the village cannot win anymore. Yeah, because it's more likely that people cannot. It's more likely that people won't report you anyways. They will understand you. Most people, although, like, there's always like some people who are like, you're like villager, you shouldn't help them. Alright. I see you guys later. And don't be a traitor. Goodbye.